Happy Moon Day, everybody. Um, I'm going to explain to you what your eighth chakra is, and I'm also going to explain to you what your Akashic record is, and I'm also going to explain how that applies to the practical use of Reiki. Your eighth chakra is located 2 feet over your head, above your physical head. The ceiling's too low. Just up inside of the ceiling is my eighth chakra. And just 2 feet above your head is your eighth chakra. No, seriously, there's a part of you that is hovering 2 feet over your head. And not to totally blow your mind, but beyond that, there's a ninth chakra that is 2 feet over that. It is 4 feet above your head. 4 feet that way is a part of me. And it's called my ninth chakra. But let's wheel it back into the eighth. The eighth chakra is the first step of being born spiritually. And by being born spiritually, I mean letting your body release your spirit to the effect that it goes back to your real body, which is invisible. It's the truth. I know it may not be comfortable to you to hear, but it's the truth. Is that this self is not only your small self, but it's the most not real part of yourself. I have to tell you about the Akashic record in the form of a metaphor until you understand it for yourself. Because it's something that you have to learn by your interaction and development with your eighth chakra. Your Akashic record is like this. Imagine you're in a library and there's books all over every shelf. Down the aisle, you see rows and rows and rows of bookshelves. Down the other aisle, you see rows and rows of bookshelves. Down the book aisle, you just see rows and rows. The books never end. Every single one of those books, if you take it off the shelf, it is your biography. The only book that is not on the shelves is the book that goes along with this body right here. Meaning, all of the other books are the story of how your life would have been had you or had you not made the decisions that you've made up until this point. For every single decision you make, there's another book in your Akashic record. So, when you do Reiki healing, you're not repairing a broken body part so much as you're allowing the broken body part to adapt to the non-broken spirit of that person. Or the way you do it is by visualizing their Akashic record. And in their Akashic record, you visualize a dimension in which they didn't make the decisions they made to injure themselves, and therefore they're not injured in that dimension. And so when you're doing Reiki healing on a person, you're actually visualizing their self, themself, the subject self. If you're healing yourself, you're visualizing yourself in the dimension where you don't have the pain that you have, or you don't have the dysfunction that you have, or you don't have the injury you have, or they don't have the injury that they have. See, everything comes into this physical existence based on energy flowing from your spirit self through your eighth chakra, through your ninth chakra, into this body. This is all a consequence of a much larger form of yourself that is invisible. and it is in communion with God. So in Reiki, the idea is to draw on the energy of a dimension where this person doesn't have the injury that they have. And by doing that, you cause their physical body to adapt to their spiritual body, which is perfect. And when you do Reiki on yourself, you cause your physical body to adapt to your spiritual body, which is perfect. The reason that the body in the physical world is not perfect is because it's still a work in progress. And you may or may not know that you planned this whole situation out and committed to it before you were born in the flesh. You made this decision with God. I will be born as Jason Spate. I will be born as Mina Roman. I will be born as. You made that decision, and then your spirit made it happen in the real world. And that's just how you will heal, and that is just the direction you will go when you are done with this lesson. What lesson? This lesson that you have foolishly referred to as your life. Happy Moon Day. Consider your mind blown.